So I want to talk about a quote that a fellow member of our tribe left in the comment section of one of my videos. And this person is very good about leaving these quotes, so if you go back through some of my previous videos and read some of the comments in the comment section, you'll probably see a lot of the quotes from this person. And the quote is, "The truth is not a weapon to wield, but a light to reveal. And in the end, it's not the darkness we defeat, but the shadows we cast within ourselves." So these quotes, they really make me think. And this one in particular really made me think, and it really resonated with me. And I sat and pondered about this for quite a while, thinking about what the true meaning of this quote was and how this applies and relates to the topics I discuss on this channel. And this is the realization I came to. And you know, the interpretation of this could mean a bunch of different things for pretty much anybody who reads the quote. So it all boils down to your own personal interpretation, but this is what it meant to me. So starting with the first part of this quote, "The truth is not a weapon to wield, but a light to reveal." And I think that is so true in a lot of ways. And how I think that applies to like health and nutrition and things like that is that, you know, basically for the last 70 years, we've been lied to about everything when it comes to health and nutrition. You know, the foods we were told are supposed to be healthy, they're not healthy. They're destroying everyone's health. You know, there's 4,000 plus ingredients that are banned in other countries that they allow in our foods. And I would say that the truth that they're hiding from us, they're absolutely using that as a weapon against us. Because, you know, if they were to let that truth out, it would be a light to reveal. It would reveal so many things about how we've been lied to, and it would completely reform and transform the food supply, the food system as we know it. Nothing would be the same. All the hyper-processed food would be either gotten rid of, it would be completely eliminated, or it would be drastically changed. We would be focusing more on real whole foods. They would have to come out and admit to the fact that their lies have cost Americans lives to the tune of millions and millions of people. And not just their lives, but their livelihood, because all these people that are sick and that are just strung along by the medical industry and the pharmaceutical industry to keep them propped up so that they can continue to live, but they're basically stuck in a constant state of suffering. There's a lot of things that they would have to reveal that would completely shatter the realities of millions and millions of people in this country. And there's a lot of people that couldn't handle that. They couldn't cope with it, because understanding that the people that are supposed to be looking out for you were not doing that and they were actually doing the opposite, it can be a really hard truth to accept. So these people are 100% using truth as a weapon against us. And for us as the people, the consumers, it would be a revealing light for us, because it would finally be vindication that, you know, a lot of us, what we've been saying all along about food being toxic and stuff, we'd be vindicated in that because it would be shown to be true. And we would finally know what we need to do to fix our problems. And that's the biggest thing, is that there's so much confusing, conflicting information out there. Nobody knows which way is up. But at the end of the day, the truth shouldn't be used as a weapon. That's the last thing it should be used for. It should be used as a revealing light in every scenario. And getting to the second part of the quote, that revealing light, it doesn't defeat the darkness, because the darkness is going to be all the horrible things that we've been lied to about. That is the darkness. But here's the truth of the matter. When we're lied to about these things, I mean, let's just take hyper-processed food, for example. We'll use that one singular thing. So we're lied to about hyper-processed food, and we're told that it's healthy, and these artificial ingredients, these fillers, these additives, all these horrible things that are in food, we're told is healthy. All the 4,000 ingredients. Those words don't mean anything. Whether they're the truth, whether they're a lie, it doesn't matter. What matters is the people that believe these lies and hold them as truths. And that is most of America, because we have fallen for the lies. All the deep-held ideologies that we have around food and nutrition and what we believe is true, those are all shadows that we've casted within ourselves. So it's not the lie that is destroying us, it's our adoption of the lie. And that is a much harder thing to accept and a much harder thing to deal with than the fact that these people told us the lie. It's the fact that we bought into it. You know, that can be an extremely uncomfortable situation for a lot of people, because people have been so indoctrinated into believing these things. Our identities are tied into this. And when you start making people question their identities and who they are, that's going to damage a lot of people. And it's going to be really, really hard for a lot of people to cope with that. And we see this already, because there's a lot of stuff that's come out, like fluoride in water, for example. That's come out to lower the IQ of children, because fluoride, when you consume it, competes for iodine in the body, and iodine deficiency is one of the leading preventable causes of mental retardation in children. And the federal court has now ruled that fluoride in drinking water poses a significant risk to the health of human beings, essentially, especially children. But when people hear this, they do not want to accept that, because we've been programmed to believe deep within here that fluoride is required to prevent cavities, and we need to have it in our drinking water, and without it, all of our teeth are going to fall out. A lot of hard truths that have come out about sugar and about hyper-processed food is another big one. All this information comes out that basically proves that all this stuff is leading to all the chronic illnesses that we're dealing with. And people are so tied into that they'll make excuses and say, you know what, everything in moderation. It's okay if I eat that piece of cake that has 100 ingredients in there, as long as I only do that 3 or 4 times a month. You know, it's totally fine. So we'll go ahead and poison ourselves knowingly, because again, these facts have come out, and these ingredients that are in our foods are banned in most other countries. So it's going to be a pretty overwhelming truth that the stuff in our food is bad. But again, we'll use that coping mechanism and we'll say, no, it's okay, just as long as we eat it in moderation. You know, this stuff's not actually bad, just don't gorge on it, which to me is a 100% falsehood, and it's a coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism because you're addicted to these hyper-processed foods, because they're doing exactly what they're designed to do, which is to make you extremely addicted to them. And that's what's happening. And that's just even more proof on how much power these people have and how effective and efficient they are at doing their job, because they're able to make these foods that addictive to where, you know, with proof in front of you and proof all around you by the health of our country and the obesity rates and everybody being overweight, just looking around, you see that. But you won't believe your lying eyes, and you'll make up excuses on why you should continue to consume that food, even though there's proof all around you showing you that it's bad. And that proof can also probably be found within your own health, because I guarantee there's a lot of things going on within your body that is not optimal. You probably don't feel the best you could. You probably have aches and pains. You probably have a little excess weight that you want to shed that you can't get rid of. But you'll use these coping mechanisms to avoid that uncomfortable truth. You'll use them to avoid that light potentially revealing a shadow that is cast within yourself, which is a deep-held ideology that you have adopted based off an inception, a seed that has been planted into your mind. And that's what's happened to all of us. I am not exempt from this. I have fallen into this camp. I have broken free from that. Thank goodness I've broken free from that. But it is very, very easy to fall into this mindset, because again, the people that have created these lies and that have been indoctrinating us for decades and decades and generations now, they're very good at what they do. And what it boils down to is profit and greed. And that is another weapon of truth that is being used against us, is that all these foods are made to be addictive so that we keep coming back for more, so that we keep spending money, so that we make these people rich. But again, we've fallen for these lies because we're told that we need these foods to be healthy and they're not bad for us, so we go out and we buy them, not understanding what's happening every time we buy them and every time we consume them. We're feeding into this lie. We're creating more shadows within ourselves. We're altering our identity and conforming them around these lies that we've been told. So this particular quote, "The truth is not a weapon to wield, but a light to reveal. And in the end, it's not the darkness we defeat, but the shadows we cast within ourselves." It could not be more fitting to our current situation. And I really appreciate this quote, because it lets me know that there are a lot of other like-minded people out there that think exactly the same way that we do, that understand the truth, they know what's going on around them, they know what needs to be done to fix it, and they're advocating to make the country a healthier place, which is what this is all about. That's what this tribe is all about. And with that said, I appreciate each and every one of you showing up and watching these videos, because that's what these videos are for. These videos are meant to be a revealing light. So if you have your own interpretation on what this quote means to you, feel free to share that in the comments below, because I'm super curious on what this means to everybody else. Thank you again for the quote. Thank each and every one of you for showing up and watching these videos and spreading this very, very important information and bringing awareness to these topics. I think through communities and tribes like this, it's only a matter of time before these things catch on, go mainstream, and we create a positive and impactful change that ripples out and goes way, way beyond us. And just remember, that shining light of truth won't always be something we want to hear, and it might make us uncomfortable, but it will always be necessary. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to like, subscribe, join the Apex Tribe. I'll see you in the next one. All right, peace out.